Just imagine this. You're 16 years old, a high school sophomore, but you're not just dominating your class, you're the #1 player in the entire country. Not just for your age. Overall, scouts are saying you're better than future NBA stars. Cade Cunningham and Paolo Banchero years before they were even eligible for the league. In 2020, top analysts agreed, if the NBA's rules allowed it, they would take you #1 in the draft over Anthony Edwards, over LaMelo Ball. That's how good Emoni Bates was. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation talent, the kind you only see once every 20 years. Sports Illustrated crowned him the best high school player since LeBron James. They even put him on the cover with the title, Magic, Mike, LeBron. And the 15-year-old who's next? Let that sink in. Only 3 high school players have ever graced that magazine cover: LeBron James, Jabari Parker, and Andrew Wiggins. All were top NBA picks. Emoni Bates was supposed to be next in line. In fact, in an early 2023 mock draft predicting an eligibility change allowing players to jump straight from high school to the NBA, Emoni was projected to go first overall, ahead of Jabari Smith JRB, ahead of Chet Holmgren, ahead of Victor Wembanyama, yes, the same Wemby who was being called the greatest prospect in any sport ever. At the top of that loaded draft board, Emoni Bates. But fast forward to now. Victor Wembanyama is on the path to NBA superstardom, and Emoni, he's not even on an NBA roster. So what happened? How did someone once dubbed the next LeBron go from the top of the basketball world to completely out of it? This is the rise and fall of Emoni Bates like you've never heard it before. So, what made Emoni Bates such a sensation? Well, it started early. As a 7th grader, he was already ranked the #1 player in his class, averaging an absurd 46 points per game. By summer 2018, he was lighting up Nike's Able circuit, dropping 17 points a game against players 2 to 3 years older. And he wasn't even in high school yet. As a freshman, Emoni made his high school debut with 30 points and 15 rebounds. Just another day at the office. He led his team to a state title and hit the game-winning shot to seal it. He was named Michigan's Gatorade Player of the Year, Freshman of the Year by Max Preps, and crowned by 247 Sports as possibly the best high school prospect since you guessed it, LeBron James. Then came the cover of Sports Illustrated. After Kobe Bryant's tragic passing in early 2020, Emoni switched his jersey number to 24. He planned to drop 20 for points in Kobe's honor, but that was too easy. Instead, 42 points, a few weeks later, 63 points, 21 rebounds, and a win. For the season, he averaged 32.3 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2.1 steals, shooting over 50% from the field and nearly 40% from 3. He wasn't just Michigan's best player, he was the best in the nation. He became the youngest player ever to win Gatorade National Player of the Year, the first sophomore in history to do so. The hype was reaching critical mass. ESPN even ranked him in their list of the best high school players since LeBron, Kevin Durant, Greg Oden, Anthony Davis, Derrick Rose, all future #1 picks, all NBA superstars. And there was Emoni, still 2 years away from graduating, already placed among giants. In his junior year, Emoni transferred to a prep school and went toe-to-toe with Chet Holmgren, the top player in the class above him. Result? Emoni dropped 36 points, effortlessly. Another year, another finalist spot for the Naismith Prep Player of the Year. But then, something changed. Scouts started whispering, has Emoni hit his peak? Is he plateauing? Where's the development? He was still better than everyone around him, but he wasn't evolving. And for a player who was once 2 years ahead of everyone else, that gap started to close. In a bold move, Emoni reclassified, skipping his senior year to enter the 2021 recruiting class. He's still ranked 3rd, ahead of guys like Paolo Banchero and Jabari Smith Jr., but the whispers got louder. The expectations got heavier. He originally committed to Michigan State, Tom Izzo's biggest ever recruit, but flipped and chose Memphis under Penny Hardaway. And that's when the dream started to unravel. As a 17-year-old freshman, the youngest player in college basketball, Emoni showed flashes early. His debut, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, on 6 of 9 shooting. But that was the high point. Over the next 13 games, he averaged just 9 points, shooting 35% from the field, 27% from 3. His last name was no longer associated with LeBron or KD. It was Bust. The same scouts who once worshipped his potential now labeled him an inefficient volume shooter. He was benched, and his draft stock vanished. What was supposed to be a fast track to the NBA became a PR disaster. In hindsight, he might have been better off staying in high school, protecting his image, dominating weaker competition. But now, the shine was gone. After his freshman season collapsed, Emoni entered the transfer portal and returned home to Michigan, but not to Michigan State or Michigan. They had moved on. He enrolled at Eastern Michigan, a mid-major program, but even before he played a game, disaster struck again. He was arrested, caught driving with a firearm, charged with carrying a concealed weapon and tampering with ID marks, though the charges were later dropped after a plea deal. The damage to his image was irreversible. In today's world, perception is everything, and his was in shambles. Still, Emoni tried to fight back. In his lone season at Eastern Michigan, he showed flashes of what once made him special, averaging 19 points, shooting 40% from the field, and 33% from deep. He even had a 29-point half in a nationally televised game, reminding everyone of the bucket getter he used to be. But the NBA wasn't convinced. He declared for the 2023 draft and went undrafted. Eventually, the Cleveland Cavaliers picked him up on a two-way contract. And while he showed promise in summer league, hitting tough shots and getting buckets, it wasn't enough. He didn't stick. So here we are. Victor Wembanyama, the guy once listed behind Emoni, is now hailed as the future face of the NBA. And Emoni Bates, the next LeBron, the cover star, the chosen one, he's fighting to stay relevant, fighting to even get a shot. This isn't just the story of a bust. It's the story of expectation, of what happens when you crown a king before the war has even started. But here's the thing, it's not over yet. Emoni Bates is still only 20 years old. His career didn't go according to the script, but sometimes legends are written in rewrites. If he can dig deep, rediscover his love for the game, and grow not just as a player but as a person, then maybe, just maybe, the story of Emoni Bates isn't a tragedy. It's a comeback in progress.
If you enjoyed this video and want to see more exciting content, make sure to subscribe to the Sports Galaxy Spark channel. Stay tuned for upcoming videos and don't miss out on the latest updates. Hit that subscribe button and join the community for more videos. Thanks for watching.